What's going on, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Chris, joined as always by my guy Miles Davis. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's good, Chris? Hey, man, back again for another episode. Got a good streak going, so let's keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. We're gonna keep it rolling for sure. I'm not even sure if I said this, but this is the Average Sports Nerds. This is about our 15th live episode, I believe. So, like Miles said, we got a good streak going. Trying to keep putting out content, keep talking sports. You know we love it. So, we got a lot to get into this week. But first, as always, we got to do some housekeeping stuff. Let y'all know where you can find us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, at AVG Sports Nerds. Go ahead and follow us over there for more updates, other type of content, especially TikTok. Get some cool videos and stuff up over there. So give us a follow. And then obviously here on YouTube where we do our live streams, subscribe so you're always ready Sunday nights when we go live. The next piece of news, I guess, is we're doing that giveaway, the Ricky Williams signed jersey. Still not up to the 50 subscribers yet, so there's still plenty of time to get in. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel and comment on our video. Comment your Instagram name just so we can get in touch with you when you win the giveaway. So go ahead and get on there.
Yeah, everybody tap in, man. That's a cool jersey signed by a great former NFL player. So yeah, tap into that.
100%. 100%. Our next campaign is going to be to get Ricky Williams in the Hall of Fame, but that's for another podcast. And then last piece of news, and this one kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Next week, we're not going to be having a live stream. We got a lot going on. Me and Miles are going to be getting together for the first time in a long time, so that's going to be good. But yeah, no live stream next week, so keep an eye out. We'll probably do some type of podcast like our old format, previously recorded, that we'll get something out to you guys that way. But yeah, other than that, we can get right into some sports, talk about the good stuff, what you guys came here for, what you guys listen to us for. And for me, I want to start just with college basketball this week. It started up, full effect Tuesday. A lot of good teams playing. 3 real matchups to highlight this week. Number 10, Kentucky played number 9, Duke. First night of season. Duke beat them 79-71. Led by, I hope I'm saying this right, Paolo Banchero. This guy is he's a monster. Probably going to be a top 5 pick.
Yeah, I randomly heard about him. I was like, let me look up this guy just randomly. Saw this dude's highlights. I was like, okay, yeah, he's already NBA ready. He's got the size, the versatility. He's pretty much doesn't look like he has too many weaknesses on the court. I mean, I know it's just one game, but hey, man, this guy really could be the real deal in the future. So he's definitely someone I'm gonna be keeping my eye out for.
Definitely. He's like 6'10".
Yeah.
Game kind of reminds me of Kevin Durant. I don't know if he has the 3-point shot like that, but we'll see.
He was smooth. Like you could just tell he had a really strong feel for the game, and it looked easy out there.
100%. It was this whole first week he's been balling out. So we'll see for sure. The other 2 games, Friday night, Villanova, they're number 4, took on number 2, UCLA. That was a big game. Obviously, UCLA was in the Final Four last year. UCLA pulled that one out 86-77. Tough game. I think both of these teams are going to be 2 really good teams this year. And then last night, Saturday night, number 5, Texas played number 1, Gonzaga. Gonzaga beat them 86-74. Gonzaga is a team I wanted to just talk about briefly for a second here. This game, they were led by, I can't remember his first name, but Timmy. This guy's a beast.
Timmy.
Yeah, he had like 27 points, I think. And then also they have potentially the number 1 pick in the draft on their team. This guy named Chet Holmgren. I've been kind of watching this guy it seems like it's been like 8 years now, but he's finally made it to college. So he's a 7 foot guy. He's got some handle. He's got a real good feel for the game. It seems like so. I'm excited to watch him play.
Yeah, if you follow Ball's life, you've definitely seen Chet. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, but you definitely seen him out there. He's tall, versatile player. Only thing for me is, I mean, is he going to be able to withstand a 82 game schedule? I mean, I think he's definitely got the talent, and I mean, we've seen very slim players make it to the league and have great careers, but hey, man, it's a different animal till you get in there. So I think he's definitely going to be someone on the radar to watch out for. I think he'll have crazy stat lines this season, like probably near quadruple double kind of games. So I think we should definitely watch out for him.
Yeah, that's a real good point. He is very thin if you haven't seen him. But yeah, I mean the other two guys, just individual players that I wanted to highlight here as the season kicks off. From the mock drafts I've seen, potential top 5 picks right here. Jalen Duran, also a freshman at Memphis. He's a big man. I don't really know too much about him, I'm not gonna lie, but the scouts are really high on him, so I'm gonna keep an eye on him. And then Jabari Smith from Auburn. Again, I haven't been watching as much high school basketball these last couple of years, especially this past year with the whole COVID situation and everything. So those two guys, I don't really know that much about them, but I'm excited to watch them play for sure.
Yeah, I think Jalen Duran. I think he's definitely a good player to watch out for. And glad you brought up the team of Memphis because they had a very good high school prospect, Imani Bates. If you've been on Ball's life, you've seen this guy too, getting buckets. Now he's definitely gotten some comparisons to Kevin Durant. So I mean, I think we're going to see some special scoring performances from him this season. And that Memphis could be a really great team to watch out for. I mean, they're never usually in the top upper echelon teams, but hey, they might be up there this year.
Yeah, and I think they were ranked 12 coming in, so they're getting some respect. They got, like you said, there's at least 2 NBA level players, so
100%.
we'll see. That's a good team to watch for sure. But yeah, moving into college football, sticking with the amateurs right now. I'm not going to bore you guys with the full top 25 this week, but I do just want to highlight a few games here that happened. Just starting with the top 5, Georgia, number 1 team, they rolled Tennessee 41-17. Alabama took care of business against New Mexico State 59-3. Number 3, Oregon beat Washington State 38-24. So those 3 will probably remain intact. And then from there, it's where some of the big games I think happened. Ohio State, number 4, they were playing number 19, Purdue. They won in dramatic fashion. I think they were 42-7 at one point, but they pulled it out 59-31. So they're a team to watch out for. I know they lost to Oregon earlier in the season, but that's a storyline if the committee moves them above Oregon. So we'll see what happens there. Cincinnati is number 5. A lot of controversy with them, obviously being undefeated, but not playing in a Power 5 conference. Sure, if you follow college football, you have heard about this. But they beat South Florida 45-28. Not a complete blowout, but also not as much of a struggle as their last couple games have been. So we'll see what happens there. And then, other than that, there's just a couple other big games this week. Number 13, Baylor beat undefeated number 8, Oklahoma, 27-14. So that should shake things up big time in the Big 12.
100%.
And then also in the SEC, number 15, Ole Miss over number 11, Texas A&M, 29-19. I thought I had a read on Texas A&M. I thought they were looking like a really good team. Didn't really show up in this one, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So good win for Ole Miss there. And then Wake Forest, who was undefeated going into last week, lost to North Carolina, dropped them down to number 12 this week. But they beat number 16, NC State, 45-42. Another shootout for them. So not much defense getting played right now at Wake Forest, but hey, they're like 9-1. They're a team to watch out for. And then just finally, the biggest upset of the week, Mississippi. It should be Mississippi State, I think. Mississippi State beat number 17 Auburn 43-34. So, yeah, it is what it is. Pretty chalk this week in college football, but yeah, there was some games. I think Tuesdays when they put out the rankings are like the most exciting thing now. Just trying to figure out what team is in, who's not, who's got some work to do, the scenarios moving forward. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye out on this week, and we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, definitely keeps college football interesting.
They got to expand this playoff, though. Just my last little
100%.
spiel in college. Definitely need to expand the playoff to at least 8, because I just think Cincinnati, undefeated team, they might not be one of the top 4 teams, but they deserve a chance to play for the championship. So, all right, I'm done. That's my little spiel about college football. Let me know what you think. If you got a team that you want to see make that top 4 that's not in there, or you got a team that's in the top 4 that you don't think is good enough, let us know. I definitely want to hear it. I definitely need some more people to talk college football with. But moving on, we got to go to the pros, take it to the NFL route, start off. And we got to start with our fantasy football league like we always do. I honestly have not even looked at my matchup in a little while, so we're going to get, my first-hand reaction right here live. And, okay, so I'm winning 59.5 to 41.4. So super low-scoring game. It looks like I had CeeDee Lamb, had a great week. Nobody else had double digits right now. And on the other side of the ball, I played against Matt Ryan, who had 0.6 points today. Just
Yikes.
Awful. So 71% chance for me to win. Still got a couple players left. He still has a couple players, but I might steal an ugly one after 3 straight losses.
Yeah, man, you're looking good this week. Yeah, for me, I'm playing against an opponent who's 4-5, like I am. Currently, I'm losing 97-63. It's just, I think overall in our league, it's just one of those just kind of bad, low-scoring weeks, kind of for everyone in general. I mean, there's a couple people that are going to probably be over 120, but hey, that to me, that's not like a very productive week overall. My team is just struggling mightily. If you guys watched the Packers game, I just got done watching that. It was just a weird, just kind of defensive struggle kind of game. I mean, neither team could really get anything going. The Packers were able to do a little bit in the run game. But yeah, team's just struggling, just to keep a short summary. And I'm probably going to dip to 4-6. So I rose up in the rankings, and I'm going to go right back down to where I was. So.
Yeah, I mean, but one thing about our league, especially this year, I was looking at the standings, and I don't think anybody there's one team that was 8-1, and then I believe I was in second place at 5-4, and everybody's stuck really between that 5-4, 4-5.
Right.
So it's still a battle. You're still in this thing.
Yeah.
And you guys know my philosophy. Once you get in the dance, it's anybody's game. So
exactly. And Tyreek Hill just scored a touchdown. I have him on my team. So hey, we're not completely out of it just yet. I'm only got a 33% chance to win now.
Hey, 1 out of 3 chances it's not the worst.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, sticking on the fantasy theme here, we can talk about some of the best players this week. Starting at the quarterback position. Number 1 player so far, at least. Big bounce back week, Dak Prescott. 24 for 31, 296 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. Added another rushing touchdown in a huge 43-3 win over the Falcons. Probably could have scored more, but I think he came out of the game pretty early. So, any thoughts on good old Dak and the Cowboys right now?
Hey, man, all I can say is they just put a beat down. That's just a old-fashioned beat down on the Falcons. And, yeah, just a good game, unfortunately. I hate to say it.
Yeah, and the Falcons were looking good coming in, so got to give Cowboys their credit today. like you said, begrudgingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
On to the next one. Josh Allen, number 2. Not a surprise there. Another guy who needed a big bounce back after a tough loss last week. 21 for 28, 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick in their 45-17 win over the Jets. So, yeah, I mean, it's Josh Allen.
Solid game.
Yeah, we know what to expect at this point. But moving on to number 3, there was 2 guys tied actually in our scoring format. Excuse me. And that was Mac Jones and Trevor Siemian. Surprise, surprise, right?
Seriously.
But Mac Jones, 19 for 23, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns in that 45-7 win over the Browns today. Huge game for him. And then Trevor Siemian, 19 for 34, 298 yards and 2 touchdowns in 23-21 loss to the Titans. So any thoughts on either of those guys from you?
Well, honestly, the Patriots are kind of impressing me. They last couple of weeks or so, or last 2 out of 3 weeks, they've been putting up a lot of points. So just shows it looks like Mac Jones is just doing his job, just doing it efficiently, and clearly he didn't turn the ball over today, and it showed in the results.
Yeah, definitely. They've looked really good. I think this win puts them at 6-4. So they're looking good for a potential playoff spot. And hey, with the rookie quarterback, that's saying something.
Yeah.
And then we haven't done this, but thought we should maybe start doing this. Put a couple honorable mentions in here. Guys who just missed out on that top 3 that had good weeks. Ryan Tannehill, Jalen Hurts were also pretty solid this week. So I know Ryan Tannehill hasn't been good all season, but good week for him this time. And then moving on to the running back position, sticking in New England here, the number 1 back so far, Ramondre Stevenson, 20 carries for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, added 4 catches for only 14 yards in that win over the Browns. So if you're anything like me and you benched Ramondre Stevenson in all your leagues today because you thought you had better options, well, as of right now, there was no better option.
Yeah, seriously. Honestly, I haven't heard too much about that guy, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a rookie. I don't know if he was like 4th round pick or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously Damian Williams, the starting running back for the Patriots, he got a concussion last week. Well, actually, Ramondre Stevenson got a concussion last week too, but he cleared the protocol. Damian Harris didn't, so he started, got to work, did his thing this week. So
yeah.
we'll see what happens moving forward. Who knows with Bill Belichick? He might give Damian Harris back the ball. Heck, he might run somebody else next week. So we'll see what happens. But number 2. And this is another guy who backup running back on his team, but A.J. Dillon from the Packers, 21 carries for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns, added a couple catches for 62 yards through the air in their 17-0 win over the Seahawks. So A.J. Dillon, another guy. I have a league where I actually have Ramondre Stevenson and A.J. Dillon both on the bench. So fun times.
Yeah, man, that's rough. But it'd be like that, man. That's just fantasy. You never know with these people sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really expect that.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones did get injured in that game, though. I think I did see that. Hurt his knee. So we got to keep checking on that. But if he's out, A.J. Dillon's going to be a guy.
Yeah.
And then number 3, Jonathan Taylor. He's a stud. He might be the best running back now that Derrick Henry's out. It's up for debate, I think. But 21 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. 6 catches for only 10 yards. I mean, that adds points in your half PPR and PPR formats.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, good game for him. Another one.
Yeah, he's definitely looked. Yeah, he's definitely looked like he's been putting up the best stats so far this season outside of Derrick Henry. So, yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, for sure. And then the honorable mentions this week, Christian McCaffrey, Antonio Gibson, they were right outside the top 3 there. So 2 guys that, hey, you probably, especially with Gibson, I know for me, I needed that confidence boost in him. So
100%.
good games. Moving on, wide receivers. Number 1, as of right now, at least the hometown boy, Stefan Diggs, 8 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. 45-17 win over the Jets. We all know Diggs. We love Diggs. His brother caught a pick today as well, so the Diggs family's eating.
Yeah. Honestly, I hadn't heard Stefan Diggs' name too much, so yeah, it's good to see he's back on the right track.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a down year compared to last year's spectacular season, so
yeah,
big game for sure. Number 2, CeeDee Lamb from the Cowboys. We talked about Dak a little bit earlier, but CeeDee, 6 catches for 94 yards, 2 touchdowns, even had a 12-yard carry in that big win over the Falcons. So, yeah, CeeDee Lamb.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
Complete stud, man. I think he's – I don't know. I don't know if he's pushing yet for like that top 5, maybe top 10. Top 10.
Yeah.
He's got to do some more.
Right outside the top 10, yeah. A little bit more work. He's still young in his career.
We need more production. Number 3, and this complete surprise, Kendrick Bourne from the Patriots. 4 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown, and 3 carries for 43 yards in that big win over the Browns. So I'm not really sure if this was garbage time or what, but hey, he made the list. So
yeah, Patriots player showing out today.
Yeah, 100%. They got a guy in top 3 quarterback, running back, receiver, and tight end. So
wow.
Yeah, big week for them. And then the honorable mentions, 2 young receivers, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Smith, both right outside that top 3. So shout out to those guys for sure. And then lastly, moving to the tight end position, I just said the Patriots had a guy in the top 3 for each. Number 1 tight end this week, Hunter Henry, 4 catches for 37 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just, yeah, smash week for the Patriots, man.
Yeah, I think we just got a whole summary of all their scoring just by mentioning all those players.
Yeah, 100%. Like, we pretty much just covered that game from the Patriots' perspective. From the Browns' perspective, there was not much going on. So, yeah, we covered that game.
Yeah, I know the Browns had a rough game without Nick Chubb out due to COVID. Unfortunate. He's on my fantasy team. On one of them.
Yeah, I mean, Dearness Johnson didn't do too bad. I saw he had like 99 rushing yards. So just barely didn't get 100. But, yeah, I don't know what went wrong today for them. I got to watch the highlights again on that one because that was a shock to me at least.
Yeah.
But number 2, this happened on Thursday Night Football. It was Mark Andrews, 6 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown in a 22-10 loss to the Miami Dolphins. So, strange week of upsets. We'll get into one that was important to us in a little bit. But last but not least on the tight ends, number 3, Tyler Conklin from the Vikings. What a stat line. 3 catches for 11 yards, but 2 big touchdowns in their 27-20 win over the Vikings.
Hey, my man was doing his work in the red zone. I mean, yeah, in the red zone, man. That's it.
Touchdown specialist.
Hey, I go to sleep happy with that stat line.
Oh, 100%. Hey, that's fantasy gold right there. Just
yeah.
I only want my players to get on the field in the red zone. It's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, honorable mention. I think all these guys had like the same amount of points, but Dan Arnold, Austin Hooper, Gerald Everett, some other guys who, hey, if you played them, they did pretty solid. But yeah, we can move on to our top games of the week. And you know where I'm going with this.
Hey, we got to let them know.
And it's a miracle that made it 25 minutes. I tried so hard not to bring it up, not to mention it. But we did it. We beat the champs. The Washington football team, that is. Yes, we still are fans, if you were wondering. We did it today.
Thick and thin.
Yes, today, at least for 1 week, we were winners. Team played a great game, beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-19. This takes us up to 3-6, drops the Bucks down to 6-3. I'll let you start. Do you have anything you want to say about the team?
Hey, man, defending Super Bowl champs. They had to take a L this week. I know the record's still pretty solid, but hey, shout out to the Washington football team. They actually were able to execute through the end of the game, which was what I was just happy to see. Like just finish the game off. When you have the lead for most of the game, don't let the other team get back in it. Stomp on their necks, so to speak, and that's what they did. So happy. I think Taylor Heineke actually got the player of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So I've had my doubts about him, but hey, he get the wins. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, he definitely came through today. 26 for 32, 256 yards and a touchdown. I thought he played his best game of the season up to this point. And as a team, obviously, beating a good football team like this is our best game. But just wire to wire, it seemed from the beginning of the game, shockingly, the football team was in control of this one. Tom Brady didn't look very comfortable all day. The receivers, for the Bucks at least, they helped us out, dropped a few passes, but the coverage was pretty solid for the most part, other than Mike Evans getting wide open for a touchdown. But I mean, I just kept thinking the whole game, like, we're playing so well. How are we gonna mess it up? I'm waiting for that shoe to drop, so to say. Or I'm just waiting for that big mistake, the fumble, the false start on 3rd and 1, and then having to punt or something. But it just didn't happen today. So maybe this team's wishful thinking here. Maybe this team's turning a corner. I know wins like this are good for the whole organization, the culture. Everybody's happy. And I just want to highlight one drive in this game that this is shocking to me. I'm still surprised on how we did it, but Tom Brady threw a touchdown to Mike Evans, like I mentioned earlier. That brought them to within 4. They actually missed the extra point, so that was big too. But that brought them to within 4 with about 12 minutes left in the game. And football team methodically ran the ball, smart pass plays. Taylor Heineke was efficient, and they ran over 10 minutes off the clock, scored a touchdown and put us up 2 possessions, and didn't give the ball back to the Bucks until there was only 30 seconds left in the game. So just a dominant drive right there. Best moment of our season so far. Probably going to be the best moment of our year. So I'm super excited about this game, man. Like, this is our Super Bowl. It is.
No, for real. And yeah, it's good that you mentioned that drive, because for the great teams, they make these drives way more often. And for a team like us, we don't make it. Unfortunately, they don't
hardly ever
that often. Yeah, to have a drive that went over 10 minutes, that's good for any team. I mean, it just shows that you were productive throughout the drive. And yeah, but the great teams do that a lot. We do that here and there. And today we chose a great team to do it against. And yeah, I'm just really happy that they got the dub against the Bucks. So that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my only question is just where has this been all season? But hey, I'm just gonna accept it. I'm gonna be happy with this win. I'm not gonna ask for too much here as a Washington fan.
Yeah, because next week it can be like, whoa, that's not the same team we just watched. So
yeah, it's usually
we gotta stay humble.
Yeah, well, last piece of news on us, at least for me, from this game, Chase Young went down.
Yeah,
non-contact. They're saying it's possibly a torn ACL, so obviously if it's that, his season's going to be over. we'll see, man. We'll see. It's a rough situation. Wish him nothing but the best. But I do want to say, too, this guy's a leader. I love having him on the team. Just the way he was still on the sidelines, rooting for his team. You would have thought he was a coach or something, or he was coaching up players. He was talking to Rivera. I just love, I really like this guy just as a person.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's not too many people built with that kind of leadership. So yeah, it's just great to have on the team, like you mentioned.
So yeah, I mean, we can move off that one. I honestly would love to talk about that for the rest of the podcast, but not sure how much the people listening would really appreciate that. So we will move on. We do got a Alex Nix sighting here in the chat. He said, "My guys, go Birds." So shout out to Alex here. Not the go Birds part. They did get a good win today, but yeah. We got to get you back, man. So you guys heard it.
We miss you.
We're calling for you back, man. Let us know if you. Everyone, go spam Alex. Spam Alex. Tell him to get back on the podcast on Sunday nights with us. Yeah. All right, moving on though. The other big game, at least to me, the Saints at the Titans. The Titans got to be the hottest team in football right now. Even without their best player, Derrick Henry, they've won 2 straight now without him. I think 7 straight overall. Beating the Saints 23-21. Taking them up to 8-2 on the year. First place in the AFC right now. Saints dropped to 5-4. It's their second straight loss. Obviously, Jameis Winston went down. So Trevor Siemian's been starting, but what do you think right now on the Titans? Is this team legit?
Man, I definitely think they're legit, but I don't know. I just feel like they're not that team that's going to execute in the postseason. Like I think they can get a win, but I really don't see any further than that. And especially without Derrick Henry, if he's going to be out the rest of the season, which is most likely the case, I don't see him as a Super Bowl contender, but I definitely see them as a solid, high seed in the playoffs. But I just don't think they can win it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think their ceiling is capped, kind of like you were saying. If they don't have Derrick Henry, they're winning these games. Like today, they didn't really have much of a run game, but they still pulled it out somehow. So I'm not sure. The defense has actually been playing really well. So we got to see if that continues, because that wasn't expected coming into the year. They weren't very good last year. So, obviously it's a new season. These guys, 10 weeks in now, they're pretty proven. But like you said, we got to see it in the playoffs. I'm kind of with you. They're not really the team that I would pick, but they're also not the team that I would want to play either. So
right. Oh, yeah. No, that's facts.
So, yeah, I think this team is solid. I think Ryan Tannehill is actually just a solid quarterback. I don't think he's good, elite or anything, but I also don't think, they need to be running out to replace him. So, I think he can do some. But going to the Saints side of the ball, they were without Alvin Kamara in this one. Mark Ingram took over, had over 100 total yards and a rushing touchdown. So, he wasn't too bad. We mentioned Simeon. His numbers weren't the greatest, but they also they weren't bad either. So
yeah, his completion percentage wasn't all that, but other than that, it looked like a pretty nice stat line.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. This team lost to the Falcons last week, so 2 straight losses for them. They're down at 5-4. Just without Jameis Winston, I don't think this team's gonna make the playoffs.
It's gonna be tough. The Saints definitely play a lot of teams really, really well, but yeah, it's going to be tough, especially a lot of teams like to go off momentum, and 2 straight losses. I mean, it's a relatively short season, so it might be kind of hard to bounce back from that. So, but I mean, we'll see. They might be able to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I think they would still be in the playoffs right now. The season ended today, so. Yeah, Trevor Siemian's going to have to make some throws down the stretch of these games. personally, if it were me and I was the coach, I would be starting Taysom Hill. He's obviously probably not as good of a passer, but I just think he can run. He can do more. He opens up more for the offense. So
he's like a multi-threat kind of player. He can do it all.
Yeah, definitely. And then I don't know, man. I think a lot of times decisions are really obvious. Like that one to me, we've seen Trevor Siemian before. I don't think he's that good at all. We've seen Taysom Hill. I think he's at least like I said, he can do some things that Siemian can't do. So I don't know.
100%.
But hey, Sean Payton, Super Bowl champion coach, seems to have been good all these years. Could have just been Drew Brees. We'll see. But yeah, moving on from there, we can just highlight some of the other games here around the league. Starting with that Dolphins-Ravens game Thursday night. Dolphins beating the Ravens 22-10. Not sure if you watched that game at all, but just these last 2 weeks with these upsets, including us, including the Jaguars beating the Bills.
Right.
There's another one I think I'm forgetting here, but yeah, craziness, man. Crazy.
It is. Season getting real interesting.
Yeah, another game that was pretty interesting today, too. Up in Pittsburgh, the Lions actually tied with the Steelers 16-16 today. Ugly game. Big Ben missed the game due to COVID protocols, so Mason Rudolph started at quarterback. Obviously, if you've been watching football for the last few years, you know Mason Rudolph is very bad. So no surprise there. I was really hoping the Lions could get this win because I don't really know how many other games they're really going to have a chance. So
right.
At least they didn't lose.
Yeah, I just hate that you can tie like that in a professional game, especially when there's just not that many games played. Like that just bothers me, but that's for another conversation.
Yeah, I don't like it because at least if I remember correctly, the overtime used to be 15 minutes, and in the regular season, I think you could still tie, but I just don't understand shortening it if you could still tie. Like, I just feel like that just creates more ties when.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm with you. I don't like ties. Somebody needs to win and somebody needs to lose.
Somebody has to win. Yeah. Like, you got to just, like, that's why in the NBA, it's just like, it can be triple overtime. Like, someone's going to win this game. Like, and then you have a game the next day. Anyways, like, nah, someone's winning this. But hey, that we can, maybe when we have an episode, maybe we do NFL rule changes and we can talk about our gripes about it. But that's for a different conversation.
100%. I was just say, even like soccer and hockey, they got penalty kicks. We need to implement something like that. Field goal kicker off.
Seriously. That'd be lit, God.
Everybody on the team got to hit like a 25-yarder or something.
That'd be lit. That'd be lit.
Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, we can move off of that game. Talk about some more Bills over Jets. We mentioned a little bit, 45-17. Panthers over the Cardinals today, 34-10. Cam Newton, first game back in Carolina, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, they were trying to feed my man.
Yeah, you didn't even start the game. They would just throw him in when they get close. I love it. I mean, obviously the Cardinals didn't have Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins, so
yeah, I'm
not really reading too much into it for them. So, yeah, we can move off that one. Patriots over Browns, like we said, 45-7. Colts over the Jaguars, 23-17. Closer than it should have been. The Colts, they're just, I think, like a mediocre 7-9, or they play more games now. 8-9 team. Cowboys over the Falcons, like we mentioned, 43-3. Packers shut out the Seahawks 17-0. First time Russell
Wilson back. Yeah.
Yeah, it said this was actually the first time he ever been shut out in his whole career. So crazy. Eagles over the Broncos, as Alex was alluding to in the chat, 30-13. And then Kirk Cousins and the Vikings over the Los Angeles Chargers, 27-20. And yeah, that's with that Chargers loss, that actually sets us, and the Broncos loss, I assume, sets up the Chiefs Raiders game that's actually being played right now. Whoever wins that game is going to be in first place in the division. So I can double check that in a second here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. You got any thoughts on who pulls out that AFC West?
Honestly, I can't doubt the Chiefs. Honestly, I mean, they've been there just too much, and I still believe in Patrick Mahomes. Like I think everyone it will go through a rough stretch in their career. I mean, you're just like it's so hard to be consistently great for a long period of time, and especially in football with just so many different interchangeable parts. I mean, I still think the Chiefs got the best chance. I mean, their offense is still really dynamic, and I know their defense has been extremely suspect, but I still think that they could beat the Chargers, all these other teams on any given night. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I definitely gotta go with the Chiefs too. Just a lot of the reason you mentioned, but I just look at the other teams in the division, and the Broncos. They're all right, but they're really better than Chiefs. Like, I don't think anybody believes that.
yeah.
The Raiders, I'm sure there's some people out there that actually believe in the Raiders. I don't, man. I just I don't know. They were 6-2 last year, and I don't think a lot of people remember that. And they just completely folded. So I got to see it first.
And they got a lot of drama going on this season, anyways. So they got a lot of distractions. So we'll see about them.
100%. 100%. And then the only team that I feel like would give the Chiefs a run for it is the Chargers.
Agreed.
And they're just, I don't know, Herbert's still kind of young. Hasn't really had too much of a history of just winning. Even back in college, he wasn't the most winningest guy at Oregon. So
right.
I don't know. It would just be hard for me to pick anyone over the Chiefs right now. In that division, at least.
Right.
And yeah, with that being said, I mean, just to keep it updated here, the Chiefs are up as we're recording this 10-7 on the Raiders. They actually just kicked the field goal right as I was saying that. So, looks like we got a tight game there. Definitely going to tune into that as soon as we get off of here. And then, yeah, last thing on the NFL this week, the Rams take on the 49ers tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. Should be a good one there. Maybe. I don't know. The 49ers didn't look so hot last week.
Yeah. Hey, Odell Beckham on the Rams, though.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's big. That's big. And actually, real quick, just Robert Woods, I don't know if you heard the news this week, but
yeah, I did hear that.
Friday in practice, tore his ACL. Actually, when it happened, they said he didn't really think it was much of anything. And then they did some tests, torn ACL, out for the season.
Just brutal, man.
Completely brutal. But like you said,
he was having a good season.
Yeah, he was like he started off kind of slow. I know a lot of people that drafted him in fantasy were upset, but after the first like 2 weeks or so, he's been like a top 7 receiver. So
yeah,
even with Cooper Kupp doing his thing. So yeah, it's a big loss. But like you said, Odell Beckham gonna be stepping in. I don't know how he knew that was going to happen, that the targets were going to be there for him, but it seems like they're going to be there for him on a good team with a good quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say Matthew Stafford's slinging that thing now, so
yeah, I think our question is going to be answered finally, because I still have questions. I don't think I'm with you. I think I'm in the camp with you where you don't just fall off overnight. You know, you don't just be one of the best receivers in the league, and because you got traded to another team, you just lose your talent or your ability. You're just not still good. Like, so I think he's still. I'm not saying he's going to be elite, top 5 or anything like that, but I definitely think he's going to be productive second half of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and especially once they just get more chemistry. I mean, I think we saw even on the Browns. I mean, he honestly, I was actually looking through his highlights because I think NFL put up a video of his highlights, and he was honestly had some amazing plays on the Browns. So I think he'll be fine, and I think they're just gonna. He's on a dynamic offense now, and the Rams just seem like they're going for it, trying to acquire some of these players mid-season with him, Von Miller. So hey, you never know, man. They're really trying to make sure that they get deep into the playoffs this season.
100%, man. Like that Von Miller move, they said he's gonna be ready to play. I don't know how much, but he'll be ready to play tomorrow night too. So we'll see. They got stars. They got big names. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, and they're in LA too. Hey, the LA teams they're live right now. NBA as well.
Yeah, 100%.
As far as the talent and stuff.
Yeah, you know, LA, they keep a team. Any sport.
Yeah.
They keep a team. But yeah, I mean, I guess from there we can move on. Kind of spend a decent amount of time talking NFL. But we do got a few minutes here to talk NBA. And you know where I'm going with this first. This was, to me, the most entertaining story of the week. And we got some feud, or we got some beef going on. A family feud, that's what I was going to say.
Literally.
The Jokic brothers versus the Morris brothers. Now, for anybody who hasn't seen it, wait, let me ask you, Miles, which one plays for the Heat? Is it Markieff or Marcus? Do you know? Does it matter?
Couldn't even tell you with any conviction, man. I really couldn't even tell you. I've never known really which one who's who, to be honest. They've been in the league for so long. I'll never know who's who. I think I just know Markieff was at one point on the Clippers. I think. And I'm not even 100% sure about that.
Okay, because when you said that, I was going to say that I think I know that Marcus is the one on the Clippers.
He might be.
I don't know anymore. Either way, one of the Morris brothers decided to pick up a foul on Jokic in the open court to stop a fast break. But he gave him a nice little elbow to the ribs. Seemed like he
in garbage time. In garbage time, too.
Yeah. He lifted him off his feet. Like Jokic's not a small dude. So I just wanted to make that point. Like, he did hit him pretty hard. So
completely blindsided.
In
the middle of the court. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, just in the middle of the court. It was just a bogus foul, and for people like defending him it's absurd to me.
Yeah, 100%. So then, obviously, he walks away. He's thinking nothing of it. Jokic runs up, winds up, and just chucks him from behind. Completely took him out. It was pure comedy to me. Obviously, I recognize that that's a dangerous play, you know. So I mean, not even a play for it. That's a dangerous act.
Both were.
Yeah, 100%. Like somebody really could have got hurt here. These are two big dudes, and especially the Morris one where he's not looking at Jokic. Jokic gave him a cheap shot, but I mean he had just given him one, so.
Hey, you better focus. That's like putting your hands down to fight and thinking the dude's not gonna hit you. It's like, hey, defend yourself at all times. Like he thought Jokic wasn't gonna do nothing. He thought he was soft. Hey, as man to man, bro, he couldn't let that happen. So that's Morris's fault for turning his back to a situation that he initiated, and that's the way I look at it.
100%. I agree with that. Look, I'm honestly not even really that mad at either person here. I'm just entertained by the story. I want to see these teams play. I want to see when Jokic plays against the other brother, if anything goes down there, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm excited for this, and that leads us to our question of the night. I put it as the title of this video because it's important. Who you got in the fight, the Jokic brothers or the Morris brothers?
Hey man, two of them are basketball players, and I heard the other two are like MMA fighters. So, and if they're as big as Jokic is or anywhere near that, hey, I gotta take the dudes that like fight as their profession. And hey, maybe the Morris bros, maybe they could take them, but just trying to make a rational decision, I gotta go with the Jokic bros. And they look like kind of some scary dudes if you've seen some pictures of them.
They look like some foreign gangsters or something. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
they look kind of scary, man. They do for sure. I think it would be a good fight though. Either way, Like the
That'd
Morris
be
the
sick.
Morris brothers is big, and they're a little crazy, man. So like, I do
Yeah.
think they'll get it in. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with the Jokic bros. Going with
Hey,
the Jokic bros.
they said one of his brothers is 3-0 in MMA or something, so all
Yes, sir.
knockouts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, that is what I like to hear. I want to see, now. I'm actually gonna like look him up, see some of this guy's fights for sure. That's wild. But yeah, I mean, we can actually talk about some other real on the court news here. Going with our hometown team again. Right now it's good to be a Washington fan. The Wizards are actually in first place right now in the East, 9-3. I know I talked about the hot start a couple weeks ago. I think we both said we didn't really think they could keep it up. So I mean, at least for another couple weeks here, they've been keeping it up. What are your thoughts right now on this team?
Honestly, I'm kind of happy with this trade. I mean, they kind of got rid of Westbrook. I mean, obviously he's a great individual player, but they got a lot of good pieces and a lot of players that are really good at different roles. Spencer did when he's coming in, getting like 20, was able to get high amount of rebounds, still assist the ball. Montrezl Harrell, who I don't know if this is true. They're talking about this man is like 6th place in MVP voting as of right now.
Dude, he's hooping.
Like,
Like, he is
I was like,
balling.
what? And then Kuzma hitting clutch shots in back-to-back games. I mean,
He's having a breakout year.
yeah, and obviously he's still got Beal. I know he's kind of had a little rough start to the season, but I mean, obviously I don't doubt him that he could pick it up at any time. So I'm excited about the Wizards. I think their team is better than it was last year, and they made the playoffs last year. And hey, let's try and hopefully they aim for something a little bit higher this time, maybe like a 4 or 5 seed.
100%. I'm with you too. I'm starting to get excited. Got a couple friends that were hyping up the Wizards, and I'm like, nah, you guys are just crazy. You know, Wizards fans. I thought this team was going to suck. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Kyle Kuzma, but hey, he's really showing me something. And then Montrezl Harrell, he was kind of like an afterthought for me. I figured, you know, he's hustle, role player type guy, but
Right.
he's been incredible this year for us. He's rebounding, he's scoring, he's playing defense like never known as a defender like that, but he's blocking shots. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm excited. We still don't have Thomas Bryant. That's another big body that could get in there. And who's the other one? Gafford's been out, the other big man. So I'm excited for this team. I think we can do some things. I'm with you. I think we can get like a 4 or 5 seed at least. Yeah, who knows? You know, like you said, we made the playoffs last year. So my thought is that you always got to be improving. So we got to win a playoff series this year, and I think we can do it.
100%. I hope so.
But yeah, I mean, we can move off that. Talk about some other teams in the East aren't doing as good. Starting with the Bucks, defending champion Milwaukee Bucks, only 6-7 right now. Currently in 11th place in the East. Do you have any theory right now on the struggle?
That's rough. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, I think I saw Middleton it was at least out for their most recent game. I'm not sure how long he's been out, but yeah, it's just a little weird because I mean they've been the team that's getting over 60 wins the last couple seasons or close to that, up high 50s. So yeah, they're definitely not on pace for that right now. And yeah, like you mentioned, they're in the 11th spot right now, which is pretty alarming considering that they were the defending champs. So. Hey, I think they'll definitely get back in the mix. Though. I mean, I see like the Cavs in the top 6. I mean, I doubt the Cavs will stick up there for that long, even though surprisingly they're playing really well too. And hey, they're young players. Ricky Rubio has been playing really well. I forgot the rookie that they got. I forgot
Evan Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley. Yeah, he's been balling. So I think they can still get back in the mix.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not really too concerned. It's 6-7. We're only 13 games in for them. So I'm sure they'll get it going. Giannis is Giannis. Like you said. The Cavs were actually another team that I did want to talk about here. 9-5, up in fourth place. Do you think it's sustainable? Because it's another team. I thought they'd be worse than the Wizards coming into the year, and I thought the Wizards were going to be one of the worst teams. So that tells you where I was with them. I think they're starting Lauri Markkanen at the 3, which obviously he doesn't have the foot speed and stuff to play on the wing.
Yeah.
He's been having a terrible
player.
year, but somehow they're winning and they're in fourth.
Yeah, I think Mobley has honestly been probably, and honestly Ricky Rubio, he's never been like an elite point guard, but he's always had the great feel for the game. And I think one game he had like 37 with like 8 3-pointers. So hey, if he's going to be playing anywhere near that kind of level, I mean, obviously anyone you're putting up those kind of numbers, you're going to be getting wins. And I think Mobley's just been great on both ends of the court. I mean, he's not putting up like the greatest offensive numbers, but on defense, like he's making it happen and he's changing shots, blocking shots. So, hey, I don't think it's sustainable though.
Yeah, I don't really think they're going to win that many games this year. They are off to a good start. For their sake, I'm hoping they can keep it up, make the playoffs or something, but I could even see them dropping all the way out, like not even getting in the play-in games.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say I do think this Mobley dude, just off of the first few games, I actually picked him up on my fantasy team, so I'm a little invested. So I've been watching him a little bit. And he's been great, man. Like, he actually looks like he just has a good feel for the game. He's good touch around the basket. He can shoot the midi. I haven't really seen him shoot too many threes, but he can hit the midi pretty well. So I think he's going to be good, man. Like, his defense is incredible.
I feel like he's doing what we all kind of thought Marvin Bagley would be doing at this point. And Marvin Bagley has pretty much essentially been like a no-show. Like, I don't remember this guy ever making the headlines in the NBA for a given week. Like, but I feel like they're kind of the same kind of player. But obviously, Bagley's just not at that level. He's been in the league for a while, like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, Bagley. I'm pretty sure he's still in the Kings, but
yeah, they're looking to move him.
Yeah, he doesn't even.
So we're accurate.
I don't even think he plays that much.
Yeah.
So you can't even get minutes on a bad team. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do gotta highlight the chat here again. Our guy Alex is in here. I'm not sure what you're trying to say to us, Alex. I get the gist of it though. He just said Heineke can't. Y'all are too optimistic. So he must be referring to when we were talking about football team. And I just want to say I'm not sure 100% what you'd be referring to there. I'm not optimistic towards anything. Like, this team is not going anywhere this season. Like, we still need a quarterback. Like, yeah, we lost our franchise player. Montez Sweat, the other defensive is already out. Like, I'm not optimistic really about this team and this season. I'm just extremely happy to win a game over the defending champs. It feels good.
Yeah, man. When we can get a win like that, man, that's the only reason why we're that happy. Next week is a whole 100%. Separate situation.
Yeah, pick against us next week. It'll go good for you. But yeah, I mean, I will say it's got to be the only time we beat Tom Brady. I don't ever remember any time in my lifetime at least where we beat Tom Brady. So
yeah, it would have been nice if this win came last year.
No, don't even get. I don't want to take myself mentally to that place of how great that would have been. But yeah, let's get back to the NBA. We got off topic there a little bit, but I had to respond and make sure people don't think we're, the typical Redskins fans thinking that this is our year now, anything like that. But yeah, sticking in the East Conference, the other team that was in the East Conference Finals is also struggling. The Hawks, they're 4-9, currently 13th in the East out of 15 teams. So they're very bad so far. And I was looking. It doesn't seem like there's really any injuries I can highlight. So
not really.
What's your thoughts right now?
Yeah, I just think it's their defense. I just seen today Trey had 42 and 10. And 8, so he went off today. But yeah, I just think it's their defense. They went against the Bucks today, just FYI. But yeah, I just think it's their defense. I think they'll get a rhythm back. I mean, I feel like their scoring is never really going to be a problem. They're just one of those teams that's just great at scoring. Their defense is like questionable, so I think eventually they'll get back into the mix. But I don't know if they'll be as high as a seed as they were last year though, because I mean they're kind of far down, and I think the East is like relatively competitive. Like there's no super elite team besides the Nets really. Yeah, I think they can get back in the mix.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's only 13 games out of 82, so there's still plenty of time. I think this team's got a lot of talent. I just think that they might actually have too many guys that play like shooting guard.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just hard sometimes for them to get a rhythm. You know, you got Cam Reddish, you got
Werder.
Yeah, Bogdan Bogdanovic. Hunter gets in there sometimes. DeAndre Hunter plays the wing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just think a lot of times they all can't eat. You know what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes, I don't know. One of them's got to take a step back, or I think somebody's got to get hurt so we can open up some minutes here so guys can get into a little bit better rhythm.
100%.
Because if you remember, last year, most of the season, Cam Reddish was hurt. Mm-hmm. So the rotation just pretty much worked itself out.
And Werder had a really good season. He was making big shots and everything.
Exactly. And yeah, Werder, he seems to be the one that's like really struggling this year. So we got to see what happens there. It's a little bit concerning, but it's still super early. So I'm not too concerned. This team has talent. But then, yeah, we can move. Last story we got on the week, Western Conference. It's one team, one player we really need to talk about. Everything else in the West, when I check, all seems pretty chalk. The good teams are pretty solid. The bad teams are pretty bad. And then we have the Warriors, who I'm not sure where anybody knew where to put them at the beginning of the season. But if you didn't put them at the top, you would be wrong, because they're right now number one. First in the West, first in the league, 11-1. And I just wanted to highlight the crazy week that Steph Curry's been having. Honestly, it's probably not even that crazy for him. He's probably had weeks like this before.
Yeah.
But
still got to give him his credit. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, he did. Just another guy I got on my fantasy team. We're going crazy this week.
Oh, yeah. I know you be winning 3-pointers every single week. It's not even. It don't even be close. It don't even be close.
And actually, that's another part of this week that I didn't even put in the notes here. But he broke the record for all-time 3-pointers made in NBA history. So, yeah, best 3-point shooter ever. I think we already knew that.
600 less games than Ray Allen.
It's just crazy. Like
that's insane. It's
crazy for me to think about where that number is going to be like when he retires.
No one's that might be the most unbreakable record when it's all said and done in NBA history.
We'll see. I don't know, man. It might get to a point where they're shooting even more than they are now.
Yeah, that's so true. Because players like Trae Young are already coming in the league just getting up big time shots. So yeah, that's very true.
Got a gun. But yeah, just highlighting Steph's week here. Monday against the Hawks, 50 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 steals. Wednesday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, modest game, 25 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. And then Friday against the Bulls, 40 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds in that one. All 3 wins. I just said now they can give him this award for Western Conference Player of the Week.
Oh yeah, that's written in stone. But yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. I think we had this conversation a little bit in one of our earlier podcasts. I know Kevin Durant, he be efficient, but I'm telling you, this dude Curry, he just gets buckets. Like, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, and he's clearly always going to have one of the best true shooting percentages in the NBA every single season. So, I mean, dude, he's just proving it again. I mean, literally on his way to another MVP. Uh, I mean, as long as he keeps it up. I mean, 11-1. I mean, I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep that up for. But hey, I heard Klay Thompson could be coming back before Christmas time, or so,
It's like a
something like that,
month.
or maybe before.
That's like a
Yeah,
month.
that's what I'm saying. And then, or before January, and then they still got Wiseman. Still, I mean, like this team could be really dynamic. And
Shout out to Gary Payton.
yeah. Let's talk about this man. This man is the only dude in the league recently that I've seen that score a bucket and then immediately just full court press. Just like I love that. Like no one does that anymore. I love it. Just the energy, like the passion. Like dude has bounce. I mean, he had some of the best highlight plays this past week in the NBA. I mean, I think Curry threw him like a crazy high lob and he just went up, got it, and he just flushed it. So yeah, and still Jordan Poole. I love watching Jordan Poole play. I mean, he's just fun to watch. He's just a bucket getter. And yeah, the Warriors. I mean, they're solid, man. I mean, I think they just have that championship pedigree, and like I think this is like a time where it's kind of showing. I mean, they're relatively healthy from what they've been working with the last few years, and yeah, I think it's showing because I mean I think they're in the top. I know they're in the top one offenses. I mean, not top one, top 10 offenses, and then probably top 10 in defense as well. So,
Yeah, 100%, man. And just looking around at the rest of the league right now, I know we've talked about the Lakers' struggles a little bit in previous episodes. We've talked about the Nets. They've been struggling. Obviously, we know the situation, not having Kyrie. We don't know how that's going to, happen.
yeah,
So
I
I'm
haven't heard
excited,
anything.
man. I think this Warriors team has just as good a shot as anybody else out there to win the championship this year.
Yeah,
And that, to me, I think that's pretty crazy to say. I didn't think that I would be saying that, especially after they lost Kevin Durant. I thought, man, they would be a pretty solid team, probably win a couple series and stuff. But to think that they might be a favorite for the championship, that just, to me, shows the greatness of Steph Curry, the greatness of the Warriors organization, if I'm being honest, just replacing the role players and getting guys that can play well off of Steph. So,
yeah, that's a great point. And yeah, we might as well touch on the Lakers too. They got probably the most star power in the West when everyone's healthy, and yeah, dude, I don't know what's wrong with them. I honestly, I think it's just like their effort. Like it just seems like they're every team is having their best game against them. And you just watch them play, and I mean, it's just easy buckets by like just random players that you don't even really hear about. And yeah, AD, Westbrook, I mean, they're doing their thing, but it's just like I think it's just the effort. That's what looks like is lacking to me on the Lakers, and obviously not having LeBron, which is probably the biggest issue. But I mean,
yeah, I mean, for me, it's not having LeBron,
Yeah,
So.
I mean, but they are starting to get their players back. I know Talen Horton-Tucker. He played today. Wayne Ellington's been getting back in the groove. He hit 5 threes. So I mean, they might be getting back into a little groove or something. I just wish LeBron was playing. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
I literally stay up. I stay up for these 10:30 games just to watch the Lakers play. Just because I mean, like I just feel like they have the most star power outside of like. I mean, I think they do have the most star power out of any team when everyone's healthy. So I look forward to just watching them just as a basketball fan. But
100%.
yeah, they're struggling though.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not too worried about just the Lakers team. My only worry is LeBron James. If he's healthy, I think the Lakers got a good shot at it. I think that they could definitely win the championship. Even, I'm not going to say playing the way they are now, but I think, you get LeBron back.
Oh, yeah.
They play together for a few weeks, maybe a month or so. I think they'll be rolling good. With LeBron being, 37 now or 36, going on 37, something like that, he's getting up there. And these little minor injuries are just seeming like it's just happening more frequently, and it's worrisome, And as somebody who hasn't ever really been like the big LeBron fan, I'm nervous now because, I don't want to see him get older. I don't want to see him start to fall off. But it's in the back of my mind every time he gets hurt now. So
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
No, dude, I mean, that's obviously something to take into consideration because, I mean, I'm sure back when he was like his first run on the Cavs when he was like 26, I mean, he wouldn't have even told anybody about this injury that he's dealing with now. He probably would have rolled through it. But like you said, Father Time is, I mean, dude's 37. I'm pretty sure since he's been in the league, he's probably played the most minutes out of anyone total playoffs regular season. So yeah, no, it's
Oh, I
definitely
think he's
a
gonna break
valid.
the all-time record for that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, dude's played so long. I mean, any all-time record that like I saw the 3-point list because Curry broke the record. I mean, like LeBron is like he's like 6 or 7. And I'm like, bro, LeBron, that's crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, his longevity is impressive. But yeah, the injuries and just like I guess that not getting that chemistry, it could hurt. And you never know about AD, man. Like I almost like I love watching. I don't really love watching AD play, but I'm always scared. I'm always scared for this man.
I hate
Every time every time he jumps, he falls. Every time he gets ran into, he falls. I mean, like if someone touches his knee, he goes down in like agonizing pain. I saw this funny comment on YouTube, and it was I forgot what the acronym was, but they said Anthony Davis is going to lead the league in most injury scares, and like someone wrote out an acronym for it, and it was actually pretty funny. But and I agree with that because I mean dude is on the verge of getting hurt every time he plays, but he played well. He played well today. He was actually a beast. He had like 34 and 15. So
Yeah. No, that's a good point, man. He literally is the most frightening player to watch. I literally hate watching him play, honestly. I don't like seeing anybody get hurt, but like
no.
every time he goes up, it's like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be hurt. He's gonna be hurt. It's kind of like when I used to watch RG3 on our Washington squad way back in the day. You know, after his injury, it was like every time that he did anything, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt.
It make you cringe when he got tackled.
Yeah, and it's like it takes the enjoyment out of watching, you know, a good player play. So it just sucks, man.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. There's one particular play that I see the Lakers do a lot is like they like to do like a little V cut, backdoor cut for Anthony Davis. Westbrook throws it up to him. But I don't know, this play just looks dangerous because the people will usually be directly under him. And I'm like, dude, this is a setup for just a bad situation, just knowing how fragile Anthony Davis appears to have been like in his whole career. So yeah, that's just something to watch out for. Like, don't be surprised if he gets hurt on that play because it just looks like a dangerous play. But I mean, it works because Anthony Davis is a beast. But
100%, yeah. I feel that. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Every time he goes up for that lob, and they usually foul him like half the time they foul him, so he ends up hitting the ground hard. Like, yeah. Save that play for the playoffs.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, we don't need that in the 11th game in the regular season. It's too early for that.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess from there, it's not really much more to talk about unless you got something else.
Nah, I wasn't too much this past week. I think a lot of the big events were what we talked about last episode. So yeah, nothing from me.
Yeah, definitely. Do got to mention again, get in on the giveaway. I do have it right here. Let me grab that just to show you one time if you're still watching here. Ricky Williams signed. It's still in the package. Like I said, we're going to keep it nice and fresh for you. Subscribe to our channel. Comment your Instagram name so we know how to get in contact with you. That's it. Follow us on social media, any social media at AVG Sports Nerds. Interact with us. I'm sure we'll be happy to talk back, talk some stuff with you. Got some questions for us? Hey, we'll help you with your fantasy team if you want. Like, hit us up, man.
100%.
We're out here, but that's it for tonight. So yeah, I mean, thanks for the support. Have a good night. If you're listening to this later on, have a good day, morning, whenever. Keep nerding it up.
Peace, y'all.
Sweet.